Hi everyone, welcome to the final maths lesson of this week. Just like the others, we're going to start with some fluency, and this time we're going to be counting in our tens. So let's read the sequence from the beginning, starting with 0. 3, 2, 1, 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. 110, 120. Well done. Right, I'm going to ask you to close your eyes, keep them covered, no peeking, and I'm going to cover up some of the numbers whilst you're doing that. So close your eyes, no looking, wait till I tell you to open them. And open your eyes, let's have a look. Which numbers are missing? You might think in your head that you already know which numbers are missing. Let's do the sequence again from 0. 3, 2, 1, 0, 10, 20, 30, that's right, well done. Carry on, 40, 50, 60, 70, that's right, well done. It's 80, let's carry on, 90, 100, 110, well done. 120. Fantastic. Right, close your eyes one final time. Let's have a go at hiding some more of those numbers in the sequence. No peeking. And open your eyes. Let's see if we can work out which numbers are missing. Tried to make it a little bit trickier this time by doing 2 consecutive numbers in the sequence that are hidden, but I'm sure you'll be able to tell me what the answers are. Let's go through the sequence again then. 3, 2, 1, 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. That's right, well done. And if here I've got 6 tens, what number do you think is going to be here? 7 tens, that's right, it's the number 70. Well done, let's carry on. 80. That's right, after 8 tens, it's 9 tens, so it's 90. Let's finish the sequence together. 100, 110, 120. Well done if you've got those right. Next week, we're going to start looking at our times tables and multiplication. So make sure you keep practicing counting in your 2s, 5s, and 10s. So what we're going to do today is we're going to have a look at some of the things that we've been looking at over the last 2 days already. So that is subtraction of 2-digit numbers using the formal written method, what we call the column method. And we're going to recap what we looked at on Wednesday's lesson and on Thursday's lesson, and we're going to move on to some slightly more challenging questions that need you to work out the answer using the column method. So let's have a look. Right, this is what we were learning about on Thursday. I'm going to ask you to pause the video and show me how you work out the answer to this question on a whiteboard or on a piece of paper, and then when you're ready, play the video again and we'll go through the answer together. Are you ready to work out the answer? Let's make a start then. So the number that I'm starting with, that's right, I'm starting with 4 tens. And I don't have anything in my ones column, so that means I'm starting with 0 ones. And I'm subtracting 1 10 and 4 ones, so we would say that is 14. 1 10 and 4 ones is 14. So let's follow our success criteria then to work out the answer. I am starting with, remember the number on the top is what we're starting with, I'm actually starting with nothing, with 0 ones. Do I have enough here to be able to subtract 4 ones? No, I don't. That's impossible. I can't take away 4 from nothing. So what do I need to do? How can I get myself some more ones here? That's right, well done. I need to make an exchange. I've got 4 10s as part of my number, so I'm going to regroup these 10s into 10 1s. That means I've got to make an exchange because my 10 can't go in my 1s column. I have to change it for 10 1s. Once I've made my exchange, I've got plenty of 1s here to now subtract my 4. So now I can subtract the 1s. 1, 2, 3, 4. And how many do I have left? That's right. If you know your number bonds, you can tell me that 10 take away 4 equals 6. Well done. So now I've finally worked out how many 1s I've got left. I can now go on to subtract my 10s. Now, even though I started with 4 10s, I don't have 4 10s now because one of those 10s then became 10 1s. So I've now only got 3 10s here to start with. And I'm going to subtract one of them. And that leaves me with 2 10s. Well done. So you should have worked out that 40 take away 14 equals 26. Right, we've got a similar calculation here, but instead of 40 with no 1s, we've now got 43. We do have a small number of 1s here. But you might notice that as I start to work out the calculation, I don't actually have enough 1s to start with to be able to subtract 4. So once again, I'm going to ask you to pause the video and have a go at working this out on a whiteboard or a sheet of paper in front of you. And then when you finish working out the calculation, or if you've been struggling with it for a long time, we will go through the answer together and you can play the video. We'll do that. Are you ready to go through the answers now? Okay, so let's have a look at our starting number. Our starting number, which is on the top, has got 4 10s and it's got 3 1s. And the number that I'm subtracting has got 1 10 and 4 1s. We call that number 14. So following my success criteria to work out the answer, I am starting with 3 1s. Do I have enough to be able to subtract 4 1s here? No, I don't, because 3 is smaller than 4. So I don't have enough to take away 4 1s. So that means I need to get myself some 1s from somewhere. Where can those 1s come from? That's right, well done. I need to make an exchange. So I'm going to take one of my 10s from my 10s column and put it into my 1s column. But 10s aren't allowed in my 1s column, it's too big. So I'm going to exchange that 10 for 10 1s, which it is equal to. Fantastic, well done. So now that I've made my exchange, I don't have 3 1s anymore. I've actually got 13 1s. So I've got plenty to now take away 4. So let's take away those 3 first and take away 1 more. That's right, that leaves me with 9 1s. And now that I've worked out how many 1s I have left, I can finally subtract my 10s. So I'm starting with 3 10s, and I'm going to subtract one of those 10s, and that leaves me with 2 10s. So 43 take away 14 equals 29. Well done. Let's have another go. Pause the video and have a go on your whiteboard or your sheet of paper, and then play the video when you're ready to go through the answer. Are you ready to go through the answer? Let's make a start then. So my starting number has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 10s and 4 1s. So my starting number is 54. And then you can see that I'm subtracting 2 10s and 6 1s. So I'm subtracting the number 26. Let's work out the answer then by following our success criteria. I am starting with 4 ones. Do I have enough to be able to subtract 6 ones? No, I don't, because 4 is much smaller than 6. So I don't have enough here to be able to take away those 6 ones. So I need to get myself some more ones from somewhere. So if we follow our success criteria, we will see that we need to exchange one of our 10s for 10 ones. So I'm going to take one of my 10s from my 10s column and add it to my ones. But I can't keep it as a 10 because it's too big. So I'm going to exchange it for 10 ones, which is equal to. And now I don't have 4 ones anymore. I've actually got 14 ones, and 14 is much bigger than 6. So now I've got plenty of ones here to be able to subtract 6. So now let's take away those 6 and find out how many I've got left. Fabulous. That shows me that I've got 8 ones left. And when I've worked out how many ones I've got left, I can now start to work out how many 10s I've got left. So I've got 4 10s and I'm subtracting 2, and that leaves me with 2 10s. So 54 take away 26 leaves us with the answer 28. Well done if you worked that out correctly. Let's have a look then at how this looks in the abstract form. So once again, I need a 10s column and I need a 1s column. My starting number goes on the top, and my starting number has got 4 10s, and as you can see, there's nothing in the 1s column. That means I've got 0 1s. And then I'm subtracting, so I need to write my subtraction symbol, 20, 5, 2 10s, and 5 1s. And then what I need to do is I need to do my giant equal sign ready for my answer. So let's start working it out. I am starting with 0 1s. Do I have enough to be able to subtract 5 1s? No, I don't. So I need to get some 1s from somewhere. So that means I need to make an exchange. So I'm going to take one of my 10s from my 10s column and put it into my 1s column. But it can't stay like that because only 1s are allowed in my 1s column. That means I need to make an exchange for 10 1s. There we go. And now I've got plenty of 1s to be able to subtract 5. If you know your number bonds to 10, you should know that 10 take away 5 leaves us with 5. Well done. Now what that looks like over here is that I started with my 4 10s, but actually I exchanged one of them into 10 1s. And I don't have 4 10s anymore because one of my 10s moved into the 1s column. That actually leaves me with 3 10s. So I'm going to write that 3 10s there. Now I can see that I've got 10 1s, and 10 take away 5 leaves us with 5. And then when I've worked that out, I can finally go on to my 10s and do 3 10s, take away 2 10s. So over here you can see I've got 3 10s. I'm taking 2 of them away, and that leaves me with 1 10. Let's have a look at that again, but with an example that's got some 1s this time. So once again, I need a 10s and a 1s column. And my starting number is on the top, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 10s. And I've got 4 1s to start with. And I am subtracting, so don't forget to write the subtraction symbol. 3 10s and 8 ones, that's 38. And then you're going to need to draw your giant equal sign with a ruler, please, to write your answer inside. So I am starting with 4 ones. Do I have enough to be able to subtract 8 from my 4 ones? No, I don't, because 4 is too small. So I need to get myself some more ones here. I need to exchange one of my 10s into some ones. So what that looks like over here is that I've taken one of my 10s from my 10s column, leaving me with 5 10s, and that 1 10 then becomes 10 more ones. So it can't stay as a full 10 because it's too big. I need to exchange it for 10 ones. And now you can see that I don't have 6 10s anymore. I've got 5 10s, and I don't have 4 ones anymore. I've got 10 and 4 ones. So I've got 14 ones. Now 14 is much bigger than 8, so I've actually got plenty to be able to subtract 8. So let's get rid of these 4 first. And then I need to take away 4 more, which leaves me with, that's right, that leaves me with 6 ones. And now that I've calculated how many ones I've got left, I can now move on to subtracting my 10s. And I'm starting with 5 10s, and I'm going to take away 3. 1, 2, 3. And as you can see, that leaves me with 2 10s. So 64, take away 38, leaves us with 26. Some of you are now going to look at some questions that have the calculation written as a number sentence. Now, what we need to do is we need to take it from this number sentence and write it into the column method to be able to work it out. So over here, I would have started with my 10s and my 1s column. My first number in the calculation is the number that I'm starting with. So the number that I'm starting with must go on the top. And you can see that I've got 6 10s and 0 1s. I am subtracting the second number. So this second number has to go on the bottom. So my 2 10s in 28 go in my 10s column on the bottom. And my 8 1s go underneath my 0 1s in the 1s column. Then I need to do my giant equal sign. And when I have set it up like this, now it is ready to calculate the answer. So following on with my success criteria, I am starting with 0 1s. Do I have enough to be able to subtract 8 1s? Well, no, I don't, because 8 is too big and 0 is too small. So I need to get some 1s. That means I need to make an exchange. So one of the 10s from my 10s column is going to become 10 1s. And if I put that 10 here, you can now see that I don't have 0 1s anymore. I've actually got 10 1s. And I'm not going to have 6 10s left anymore. I'm going to have 5 10s. So now that I've got some 1s here, now I can do 10, take away 8. And if you know your number bonds, you will know that 10 take away 8 leaves us with 2 1s. And now that I've subtracted my 1s, I can finally subtract the 10s. So 5 10s, take away 2 10s, leaves us with 3 10s, that's right. So 60, take away 28, equals 32. Have a go at this calculation, pause the video, and then we'll work out the answer together. Are you ready to work out the answer? Let's have a look. So I'm starting with the number 60. So I need a tens column and I need a ones column. The first number in my calculation goes on the top, and that has got 6 tens and 0 ones. And then I'm subtracting, so don't forget to write your subtraction symbol. I'm subtracting the number 35, which has got 3 tens and 5 ones. And then I'm going to need to do my equal sign on the bottom, so I've got somewhere to write my answer. Fabulous. Now I've got my calculation set up. Now I can follow my success criteria to be able to work out the answer. So I am starting with, once again, the number on the top is what I'm starting with. I'm starting with 0 ones. Do I have enough to be able to subtract 5 ones? No, because 0 is too small. So I can't do 0 take away 5. So that means I need to make an exchange. One of my tens from my 6 tens is now going to go into my ones column. And I'm not going to have 6 tens anymore. I'm only going to have 5 tens, that's right. And I don't have 0 ones anymore. You can see that I've got 10 ones. So 10 take away 5 equals 5. Well done. And then now looking at the tens, 5 take away 3 equals 2. Well done. So 60 take away 35 equals 25. Once again, might be a good idea for you to pause the video, have a go at setting up this calculation on a sheet of paper or on a whiteboard, and then when you're ready, we'll go through the answers together. Are you ready to go through the answers? Fabulous. So when I set up my calculation in the column method, I must have a tens column and a ones column. The first number in my calculation goes on the top. So I've got 9 tens, that goes in my tens column, and the 1 goes in my ones column. Don't forget, I'm doing a subtraction, so I need to do my subtraction symbol. And then my second number goes underneath my top number. So I've got 4 tens, so in my tens column, I write 4 tens on the bottom. And in my ones column, I've got 7 ones, so in my ones column, I write 7. Don't forget, you're going to need to do your giant equal sign so that you have somewhere to write your answer. Lovely, now our calculation is set up. I can use the success criteria to work out the answer. So I am starting with 1, 1. Do I have enough to be able to subtract 7 ones? I don't, because 1 is much smaller than 7. I don't have enough there. So I need to get myself some more ones by exchanging one of my tens for 10 ones. So one of the tens from my tens column is now going to become 10 more ones. And you can see that if I add 10 more ones to the 1 that I already had, I will now have 11 ones. And because I started with 9 tens and I took one of them into my ones column, that means I've got 8 tens left here. So now that I've made that exchange, I've got plenty of ones in my ones column to be able to subtract 7. So I need to do that subtraction. 11 take away 7. Now you could do that by drawing out 11 deans on a sheet of paper or on a whiteboard and physically subtracting 7 by crossing them out. You could get 11 objects and take 7 of them away. Or you can try to work it out in your head by bridging 10. So that's the way that I'm going to do it. I'm starting with 11. I need to take away 7 altogether. But I know that 11 take away 1 is 10. And that to take away the whole 7, I need to take away 6 more. And 10 take away 6 leaves me with 4. So 11 take away 7 equals 4. Now that I've calculated how many ones I've got left, I can now go on to calculating my tens. So 8 tens, take away 4 tens, that leaves me with 4 tens. So 91, take away 47 equals 44. Now let's have a look at some word problems. What we need to do is we need to read the question and we need to write out the column method calculation to work out the answer to the word problem. So let's go. Andy has 40 stickers. His sister takes 12 of them. How many stickers does he have left? Well, is the amount of stickers that Andy is starting with increasing or decreasing? Is it getting bigger or is it getting smaller? That's right, well done. It's getting smaller, it's decreasing. And that is because his sister is taking away those stickers. So we have an amount that we're starting with and it's getting smaller by 12. And when an amount is getting smaller, that means we do a subtraction. So using the column method then, I need to start with a tens column and a ones column. I'm starting with 40 stickers. So remember, the number that you're starting with goes on the top. So 4 tens and 0 ones. And remember, his sister is taking those stickers. So his amount of stickers is getting smaller. So that means we're doing a subtraction. And Andy's stickers are getting smaller by 12. 12 of those stickers are being taken away. And then the question asks us, how many stickers does Andy have left? So that's how we need to work out the answer. We start off with our ones. I am starting with 0 ones. Do I have enough to be able to subtract 2 ones? No, that's not possible. So I need to get myself some ones from somewhere. That's right, I need to exchange. I need to take one of the tens from my tens column and bring it into my ones column. And that means I won't have 4 tens anymore. I will only have 3 tens. So now that I've made that exchange, I've got 10 ones. That's plenty to be able to subtract 2. So I need to do 10, take away 2, and because I know my number bonds, I know it equals 8. Well done. And when I finally worked out how many ones I've got left, I can start working out how many tens I've got left. So I'm starting with 3 tens, and I'm going to take away one of them, and that leaves me with 2 tens. So 40, take away 12, leaves me with 28. So then I need to write that Andy has 28 stickers left. Well done. Why don't you pause the video and have a go at working out the second word problem by yourself, and then when you're ready, play the video again and we'll go through the answers together. Are you ready to find out if you got it right? Let's go then. So Abel has 51 sweets. He eats 23 of them. How many sweets does he have left? Well, Abel is starting with 51 sweets. He eats 23 of them. So is the amount of sweets that Abel is starting with increasing and getting bigger or decreasing and getting smaller? That's right, the number of sweets Abel starts with is getting smaller because he eats them, they're going away. So I need to start with my tens column and my ones column. I need to write my starting number, 51, on the top. 5 tens, 1 1. And we decided that he eats them, so they're getting smaller. So that means I'm doing a subtraction. And I'm getting smaller by 23 sweets. Then I need to do my equal sign. And my calculation is set up, ready to work out the answer. So following my success criteria then, I am starting with 1, 1. Do I have enough to be able to subtract 3 ones? No, I don't, because 1 is smaller than 3. So I can't take away 3 when I only have 1, 1. So that means I need to get some more ones. And I do that by making an exchange from my tens column. So I'm going to take one of my 5 tens and place it in my ones column as 10 more ones. And that means I don't have 5 tens anymore. I've actually got 4 tens. And I don't have 1 1 anymore. I've now got 11 ones. So now that I've done my exchange, I've got plenty of ones here to be able to take away 3. So 11 take away 3. I can work out by writing 11 deans down and taking away 3 of them by crossing them out. Or I can work it out in my head by bridging 10. So 11 take away 1 leaves me with 10. And then to take away the whole 3, I need to take away 2 more. And 10 take away 2 is 8. That means 11 take away 3 is 8. Now that I've finally worked out how many ones I've got left, I can move on to my tens. And I've got 4 tens now. Take away 2, that leaves me with 2 tens left. So that means that 51 sweets, take away 23, leaves Abel with 28 sweets. How funny that we got the same answer for both of those questions. Wasn't expecting that. So now I write Abel has 28. Well done if you got that right. It's definitely quite tricky, this work. So you should be really proud of yourself for trying your very best. Okay, the final thing that we've got then is quite tricky. And you should only really challenge yourself to this if you're trying to access the greater depth level of maths. If you're ready to start your work now and you're ready to either move on to writing up the questions like this, or you're ready to have a go at some word problems like this, then you can just skip to the end of the video when I'm going to tell you what activities you need to do. If you think that you really want to challenge yourself today, then watch this and get ready for the activity sheets. So here we've got some calculations set up in the column method, but some of the numbers are missing in the calculation. So we need to follow that process and see if we can really work out, what the missing numbers are. So I'm just going to label my tens and my ones column to help keep me on track. And I know that I always start with the ones column. So I'm going to start here. So 0 take away something equals 5. Well, I know that that's not possible because I can't take anything from 0. 0 is the smallest number. So I can't take anything away from it to get to 5. That must mean that I exchange one of my tens from here. So that means I'm going to take one of my tens, put it into my ones column, and then that leaves me with 2 tens. So now the question is asking me 10 take away something equals 5. Well, I know I can do that because I know my number bonds. So 10 take away 5 equals 5. Well done. And then now if I move on to my tens, I will have 2 tens because one of my tens did become 10 ones. So I'm only starting with 2 tens now. And it's asking me, what do I need to take away from my 2 tens to be left with 1 10? So 2 take away something equals 1. That's right, I need to take away one more 10 to be left with 15. So that means 30, take away 15 equals 15. Now I appreciate that was very tricky, so I'm going to show you that one more time over here. I'm going to label my tens and ones column to keep me on track. And I'm going to start over here with my ones. 2, take away something equals 6. Well, that doesn't sound right because 2 is much smaller than 6. So how can I take anything away from 2 and get a bigger number? It's impossible. So that must mean that whatever is here, I take away one of those and add it to my ones column. So now what I've got is 12 take away something equals 6. So that makes much more sense because 12 is a much bigger number. And what do I need to take away from 12 to be left with 6? That's right, I need to take away 6. Now, this is very tricky because I don't actually know what number goes here to take away 1. But I do know that I'm left with 1. So that means because I don't know my starting number, I have to do the complete opposite calculation. I need to do the inverse. So I need to do 1, add 1, and that equals 2. So that must mean that that is going to be 2 here. But the reason I'm not writing 2 in there is because don't forget that one of these 10s became 10 ones. So that means if I need to put that back there, in here would actually be 3. And what I can do when I'm happy that I've worked it out and I've got something in each box, I can go through that calculation and do 32, take away 16, and double check, did I get the right answer? So let's try it. 2 take away 6, can't be done. So I would cross out my 3 and take one of my 10s into my ones column, leaving me with 2 10s. 12 take away 6 equals 6. And then that means I've got 2 10s left. 2 take away 1 equals 1. I'm happy that I've worked both of those out correctly. So now might be a good time to pause the video. Have a go at this calculation by yourself, see if you can work out the missing numbers. And then when you're ready, or if you've had enough and it's too complicated, then play the video and we'll go through it together. Okay, are you ready to go through the answers for this last calculation? Super. So, as always, we start with our ones. So, something, take away 9 equals 8. Now, because our starting number is missing, and we know that when we do a subtraction, our starting number is the whole, so it's the biggest number, we need to do the inverse operation to get back to working out the whole. So that means I now need to do 8, add 9, equals something. So that means 9 is close to 10. And if I were to do 10 add 8, it would be 18. But 9 is 1 less than 10, so I know that the answer is 17. But I can't fit 17 in this box, so I would just write the 7. And that 1, 1 would come from here. So that would mean that that would no longer, that would mean that that 110 in 17 would come from my tens column. So that would mean I wouldn't have 5 tens anymore. I would only have 4 tens. So then 4, take away something equals 2. That's right, 4 take away 2 equals 2. Lovely. So you have got a selection of activities now that you can be getting on with by yourself. You can either pause the video here and you can pause the video here and then write your answers down on a sheet of paper or on a whiteboard, take a picture of it and send it along. or you can access it on the school website in the home learning section, and write your answers down on a Word document and send it in to us as well. Well done. The learning was really, really tricky today, and we're definitely going on to more complex things. So well done for being resilient and trying your best. Hope you have a lovely weekend, and we'll see you again next week for some more learning. Bye everyone.